Good morning. I'm Eddie Muller, chief cook and bottle washer here at Noir Alley. Now, let's face it, crime pretty much ran amok on movie screens in the noir era, despite the best efforts of the FBI, the Treasury Department, and local law enforcement to assure the public they had everything under control. Today's film, T-Men, from 1947, is a schizophrenic hybrid of several popular Hollywood trends of the day. It's what's known as a procedural, a crime story told from the cop's point of view, one that unfolds in methodical, step-by-step fashion. It was also considered a semi-documentary, a term studios used to stress the groundbreaking authenticity of their productions. Of course, films like The House on 92nd Street and Call Northside 777 weren't documentaries at all. They were just pictures with a fair amount of scenes shot on location, where it actually happened, as the PR boys like to say. And when the law was directly involved in such a production, whenever stories were pulled from the case files of the FBI or the Treasury Department, well, these films were typically saddled with a righteous voiceover extolling the infallibility of America's intelligence agencies. Well, that's why I call today's movie schizophrenic. It has all the non-noir qualities I just mentioned, but in an early scene, after you've been narcotized by the introductory narration, you will see Charles McGraw's granite-jawed face emerge from the shadows, and you'll suddenly sense, as audiences did in 1947, that this is no ordinary crime picture. That scene, the one that is pure film noir, marked the start of an extraordinary collaboration between director Anthony Mann and cinematographer John Alton, two talents made for each other. They had met a few years earlier when both were working in the B unit at Republic Pictures. Did Republic have an A unit? But it wasn't until Mann was hired by producer Edward Small to direct this picture that the young director was able to say, "Get me John Alton." And the results were astounding. Even if this may not have been the ideal script for them, you can sense they're at a loss trying to liven up the stultifying scenes in the Treasury offices. But once co-stars Dennis O'Keefe and Alfred Ryder go undercover, Mann and Alton are totally at home in the underworld, with Mann devising stylish ways to convey brutal violence and Alton providing a master class in what he called criminal lighting. I don't have to explain. You'll know it when you see it. And you'll understand exactly what he meant. Now, this movie also represented a new direction in the career of actor Dennis O'Keefe, who up until this had been mostly in musicals and comedies, showing off an easy way with a wisecrack and light feet as a dancer. It's amazing that producer Eddie Small saw his potential as a hard-boiled tough guy.
Get off that floor. Get off that floor or I'll kick you. Don't hit me.
Or maybe not, since Small was also O'Keefe's agent and personal manager. He pretty much designed this film to rejuvenate his client's career, and it did just that. In fact, Dennis O'Keefe might be the most underrated leading man in noir, capable of playing it as lightly or as darkly as the material required. T-Men was a hit, boosting the fortunes of its creators as well as those of Eagle Lion, the fledgling studio that produced it. Now, I'm amazed, frankly, that people stayed in their seats after being subjected to the opening remarks of former T-Man Elmer Irie, who does his best to sink this picture right out of the gate. Seriously, if you need a drink or a cup of coffee, you got a couple of minutes to go grab it. But once Mr. Irie's minute of glory is out of the way, sit tight. You're going to be dosed with 100 proof noir style, courtesy of Anthony Mann and John Alton. Virginia Kellogg had the task of weaving together several cases torn from the files of the U.S. Treasury Department, and crime specialist John C. Higgins, soon to be a valued part of Anthony Mann's creative cadre, drafted the final screenplay. From 1947, here is T-Men.